Hey guys, what's up? It's Alpha here, and today I'm basically going to be talking about my initial thoughts on the ending cutscene in Revelations. Now, before I start, I just want to say I haven't done any proper research on this yet, because for those of you who don't know, I play on PC, so obviously my version of the map isn't out yet, so I haven't played through the map, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. It's just that with the ending cutscene, because, you know, I've been playing zombies since it first came out, so when I heard that they'd found the ending cutscene, I just had to watch it. But apart from that, I don't want to spoil the map for myself, so I haven't gone through and played the map properly yet. So what I'm going to talk about, in this video is just going to be me and my opinions and my initial thoughts on the actual cutscene itself, not the map. So what I talk about in this video, it could be wrong, so just take this with like a grain of salt. This is just a theory video and me talking about what I've heard as well as what I can gather from the trailer itself. So with the ending cutscene, I'm thinking, or I'm guessing, judging what I've seen, that most people are either annoyed, disappointed, or just downright confused. And to be honest, I don't blame you, because it is quite a confusing cutscene, and it does leave a lot of questions, and it doesn't really answer them. So hopefully this is going to be something that we're going to be able to figure out over the coming weeks. So let's start off with the basic stuff that we know so far. All the basic things we can infer from the trailer that really are kind of obvious. We'll start with that first. So we defeat the Shadow Man and the Apothicans. I think that's quite the one of the basic things we learn. And Dr. Monty is able to repair the universe with the children in it, which, in other words, is the Origins cutscene universe. So if you remember the cutscene from Origins, the cutscene in Revelations takes place in the same universe as that. So Dr. Monty, just as a heads up, he's kind of like this sort of god or Illuminati-like all-seeing and all-powerful entity. And I'm gonna, when we get around to making episode 4 of the actual zombie storyline, I am gonna talk a lot more about Dr. Monty and who he actually could be and how he acts like. So Dr. Monty teleports Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo and Richtofen to the very beginning of the Origins universe, which is where they encounter the ancient civilization from Origins, which is talked about in the radios from Origins and stuff like that. And then we see the final image, and then apparently that's the end of the storyline completely. That's where Treyarch decides to leave us off. So that's all the basic inferences we can make. Now let's talk more about the in-depth stuff. Let's talk more about theories and other things like that. So firstly, the people we see at the end of the cutscene might not actually be Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo and Richtofen. The current theory that's going around is that they are actually a group of 4 individuals known as Primus. Now Primus resembles Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo and Richtofen, and in fact actually looks identical to the 4 characters we know and love, but aren't actually the same entities, if that makes sense. So Primus, according to this theory, isn't actually Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo and Richtofen. They're just the same, looking people. They just look identical to our 4 characters, if that makes sense. And I should also mention that there's theory out there that Primus is just the name that is given to our 4 characters from Origins. There's none of this separate entity stuff. It's just the fact that Primus is the name given to our group. So now Primus was talked about briefly in Origins, and that was from an encrypted note, which when decrypted contains the sentence "Primus will fail," which leads me on to my next point. What if we actually failed the overall objective all along? Considering Dr. Monty placed the 4 characters near the beginning of the Origins universe, it could be argued that another time loop has just been created. And if this theory is correct, then our entire zombie storyline will continue to replay over and over for an infinite amount of time. Now, how and why this happens, you may ask? Well, a large part of it probably boils down to the fact that Richtofen still has the blood vials, even after the Apothicans had been defeated. These blood vials, therefore, could act as like a bridge between the perfect universe, which Dr. Monty had just created, and the Apothicans, wherever they are now. And this is why Dr. Monty starts freaking out during the cutscene, because clearly he realises that with Richtofen still having the blood vials in his quote-unquote perfect universe, a paradox has now been created. This is also supported by the fact that the crew are still present in the perfect universe, even though Monty claims that they should be fading from existence. Now, Dr. Monty knows that the 4 being in the perfect universe could fuck things up pretty badly, so he then starts going on a tangent about how he should kill Dempsey, Nikolai, Takeo and Richtofen in order to preserve his perfect universe, which leads to Nikolai and Takeo considering killing Monty, as we see in the cutscene. Nikolai whispers something to Takeo, and then Takeo tries to pull out his sword. However, as we talked about before, Monty then sends the crew back to the start of the Origins timeline, ultimately meaning that they had failed to break our newly discovered time loop despite having defeated the Apothicans, hence the Origins cipher saying premise will fail. So that's more or less where I'm up to at the moment. I mean, those are just my initial thoughts. And as I said, it's a really confusing cutscene. I mean, when I watched it, I was just blown away. It was kind of like the Origins cutscene all over again, where people are just left with theories. No one really knows for sure what's actually happened. So it looks like it's going to be Origins V 2.0 in that sense, that we're going to be left with questions and questions and more questions until what I'm guessing is going to happen. In 3 years' time, Treyarch are going to release their next CoD game, which is going to be the 5th installment of Zombies, in which we're going to hopefully clear up some of these questions. And I should say if Treyarch are going to release, you know, their 5th installment of Zombies, because obviously at the end of the cutscene it does say the end, and obviously it doesn't really take a genius to figure out that that implies that there is going to be no more, you know, installments of Zombies after Black Ops 3. And you know, we're kind of getting into a different video at this point, so I'm going to make another video about this, but I don't think this is going to be the end of Zombies. I will just say that now. I don't think this is the end of Zombies. Whether it is or not is a different question, but me personally, I don't think it is. Now, as I said, a lot of that could be wrong, what I just said, and considering mostly just working with theories, but as I said, what I am going to do is make a lot more videos in the future discussing these different theories, as well as what on earth happens to Dr. Max and Samantha, because we don't, you know, apart from those teddy bears and stuff like that at the beginning, we don't actually figure out exactly what happens to them two. So I'm going to look into those two characters a lot more. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Remember to leave your thoughts, and maybe we can start a discussion in the comments below, because I'm guessing a lot of you all have your different opinions and disagree with me about this. So remember to leave your thoughts in the comments, and maybe we can get some discussions going, as I said, and we can kind of hopefully try to figure out what on earth is going on here. So until next time, guys, peace out.